Howdy, people. Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back. I'm back to finish off the rest of the sign up because the sign up was not working for us. So we ran into an issue where you have to be logged in as an admin in order to invite a user from the endpoint. So in order to sneak our way around that, we're going to build it out two different ways. The first one is a flow. We're going to do an endpoint in a flow, which means in the admin panel on the Data Studio side. And then the second one is we're going to do an extension. So if you want to do it in code, you can do it that way too. The reason I would probably pick it over the one or the other, in the flow is easier, to be honest. I think it should be pretty easy for us to implement in there. And it gives us the flexibility of automatically allowing us to turn on and off registrations pretty easily. In an extension, the code is more secure. If you have like other admins in your project, they're not going to come in and wipe out the sign up flow on accident, you know? So if you trust your admins, a flow is totally fine, probably more ideal. If you don't, and the people who are using it, admins might be having too much flexibility, then you might want to put it in the code to prevent them from doing that. The problem within code is if you want to switch on or off registrations at any moment, you likely have it in a code change, and that means another deployment. You have to do that. So just another deployment to switch it, which is, on our deployment Railway, it only takes a few minutes. It's not horrible. But if you want to be able to control it from the admin, we'll get to that in the very end. I should probably add a task for that. Adding like a custom settings. We might get to that. We'll see if we have time. Add custom settings in the dashboard so you can toggle it in there. But you will be able to do that out of the box in the flow pretty easy. So I think most people will go for the flow. Go for the flow. You get it? So right now, if I try to join and I'm not logged in, you'll see I get you don't have permission to access this. Let's get started.
We have to get on, we have so much time and so little to do.
I wasn't even showing my screen anyway.
Reverse it.
Okay. So I try to join for free, and then it says you don't have permission to access this. That's because I'm not logged in. If I log in as an admin user and I try to do this, it will send it successfully. So that's what we're trying to get around. Because we want people to be able to sign up. And you don't have to be logged in to sign up. That doesn't make any sense, right? Chicken before the egg kind of thing. So we're going to take it pretty easy. On the easy route, I mean. And go with the flow. We're going to take it easy and go with the flow. Wow. Solid. Let's do that one first. Flows. If you're not familiar with flows, this is a semi-newer feature and it's amazing. So it allows you to do a lot of the extension stuff directly in the admin, like control a flow. So for example, let's go start building on our flow. This is going to be, should I call it user registration, user sign up, user registration. You don't need a description, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway. User registration URL from the Frontend app. User. Track activity and logs. Do I need that on here? This is a good thinking song. I usually like to have it on initially for debugging purposes, but then maybe I can go back and turn it off later. So when you create a new flow, there's a few ways that it can be triggered. An event hook, anytime any of the data changes in your app on one of your models, you can go in there and you can say to listen to either do a before action or an after action. A webhook, which is what we're going to use in this case because we want to write some code. That happens. That would be basically equivalent of making an endpoint in an extension. A cron job triggers regularly at regular points in time. I'm always interested in how this works. When you create it, I know that Directus app is always running, but how does it check the cron, or how do they set up the cron initially? Maybe they have one that runs. Do they already have one that runs every minute to check? Nah, I don't know. Trigger from another flow. I haven't used that one yet, but that could be handy if you want to microservice your flows out, And a manual trigger, this one's interesting. It triggers on a manual run within selected collections. And what that means is when you're browsing the collections. So if I'm over here in like video pages, I can select things, and then there'll be a little button over here that I can click to run it. So I can run it with selected input, which is nice if you want to like auto-generate something. Say you won't have a Slugify thing that you use and it does it automatically, but it doesn't do it on save. You can choose to manually run it whenever. You can do that. You can do in their site demo that they have up, the Directus CLI template, I think they call it. They built like an agency website, and in there they have a button that allows you to generate the open graph images when you select the files. So I'm not sure how they ran it in the back end or what, but it basically triggers a flow, pulls down the data, generates a thumbnail for that input, or for this, like a post automatically. So that's a really cool use of it. Sorry, I lost my flows thing. Now I lost all my content. Jeez. User registration. Endpoint to register as a new user from the front end site. User, verified user. Okay, we'll keep that. And we're gonna do a webhook, I said. It's gonna be a post request. You do a get or a post, but we're creating a new user. Asynchronous is, I could allow it to run in the background. So if it's not something that I need to respond to right away, maybe it's a longer running thing, or you just wanna kick off something, you can run it asynchronous. And the response body is what I'm gonna get back from the API when I make this request. So I can do just the data of the last operation or all data. I think I usually start with all data while I'm debugging, and then I might switch it. This other is interesting. If you have no idea how this works, which I didn't for a while, I finally figured out that this is saying what other property do you want to return. And unless you know how you plan to do your whole flow, you're probably not going to fill that in right away. So you can come back later and fill that out. Okay, let's create that and do all data. So let me save it real quick, and I'll copy the URL. Do I have hold on. Okay. So I'll use, oh, that's interesting because it's not my local, so, oh no, it is. Yeah, so it's up there right away. So right now, if I try to send, let's see, what do I get back? Well, I sent them a body, so I sent them this. This is the all stuff. So the trigger is what initially triggered it off. There's usually the body that you're going to pull off of there. You might pull some headers if you want to. Last is what the prior operation ran. Accountability is going to be all of your, like, what access does this user have? If they're logged in or not, you know, it'll pull that information. Since I sent it unauthenticated, no authorization header at all, I'm an anonymous user. So you see the user's none, the role is none, admin, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's how it's going to come through for this specific endpoint. It's going to be completely anonymous users. There shouldn't be a user on it. We might want to check to make sure that there's not already a user trying to create a user, but I don't know if that matters to y'all or not. Some bike rides are going on out there today. So what I would send in this, there's one benefit to, well, hold on. Let me find the doc page for users. So in the users API, they have the invite to user command. And this is what we try to use on the front end. And again, this is what's not allowed unless you're an admin. You can't invite to user. So it would work if you built a front end app and you were logged in as a user and you had an option just like they do up here in their users where you can get this invite users. It's basically running this. They're doing it for you here. You give them the role and that's what you want to do. So you can do this from the Directus admin just fine. But that's also how it works when you're trying to go from the front end. And in our context, our users, like the admin user is just me, or anyone who would be managing the site, and then the rest of the users are going to be like public users. They're not going to have access to this admin panel at all. This is just for admin users, basically. They won't see content through here. That's why we're building this site. They'll view it all through this front end site. Okay, was that all I wanted to tell you? Or more? Yesterday, when I was trying to load this, they didn't have examples for these things. They weren't loading for some reason, but now I see they are. So they have REST examples where you would hit. I couldn't find the methods to use, so I had to go looking them up. Or a GraphQL example, or in our case, we're using the SDK. It's nice they're showing it, pulling in from the root now. So you just add the invite user, and then with like the new request style, you do invite user. Takes an email, a role ID, and then an optional invite URL. The other problem with this is you don't want them to be allowed to set any kind of role. So this flow is going to allow us to control specifically what role we give them. Now let's edit some more. Active user registration. Okay, so now it's not doing anything. Here's the logs from our first run a few minutes ago. We basically saw all this data come back already. I'll clear that out. They loud today. Yeah, I don't know what they're, it's a nice day to ride. So after you create the flow, if you want to go back and edit anything on the actual flow, you can use this little edit icon. We can change some of that stuff in there, the stuff we'd originally set. I'm not going to do that now. Now, you can add operations, which are basically like your steps. So for the first step, what do I want to do? I can There's a few different ways, like you can run it all in one thing, or you can break it into the steps. It's up to you. I find the steps to be helpful to break it into multiple steps when you need to like transform data or do anything like that, right? In this case, let's just try running a script first, because that's really what we want to do. You do like create data, but I don't think it's not just normal CRUD data. We want to call that special like invite method. Also, I looked it up in here in the Directus repo. So in the Directus API source, it's on the user. Wait, controllers, and it's on the user. No, wait, it's not controller, it's a service, sorry. So these services, you have access to them in the flows. Where's the users? So then we'll have access to these methods. And these down here, invite. You can generate just the invite URL, but we want to actually send the whole invite. They have invite user, which does all that for us. So it generates the URL, sends an email to them, etc. The benefit of doing it in the flow too is we'll be using it. We can use it in any kind of context. We can use it as the user that came in, accountability wise. Use it with the permissions of the user that came in, or we can say use it with the full root access or something else like that. Okay, so here's what they do: invite user. Trying to think. I shouldn't need to transform any of the payloads. I think I just want to run script. At least for now. We can add more later. So we just get the data here. I wonder, how do I pull the services in? Do they let me pull in? I know they have a way to allow you to use modules in there, but you have to turn them on. I wonder if they let you use Directus modules out of the box or not. Yeah, this is normal kind of CRUD events for create data. Nice to make an operation for this, a reusable operation. Well, I guess then it could just be yeah. Anyway. Okay, so normally I wonder how I would import a service in there. I thought I knew how to do this off the top of my head, but maybe not. This is, I always think run script is giving me a lot more flexibility out of the box, but maybe you do need to do some more setup. Yeah. Any arbitrary code to modify the payload. We don't really want to modify the payload, to be honest. We want to do the action. Maybe we should do the extension first. Because if we're going to have to write the code anyway, nah. Let me see, let me look at the existing, well, I don't have an extension. No, wait, this is not the right site. This is tutorial API. So I made a default extension out of the box, a hook. Let's pause this one and let's, well, no. Oh yeah, the hooks have the services. Let me see, how would I pull out user service? Or is it users service? So in here, you just, on the context, they give you stuff. So it's like services dot users service. Let me look at their code real quick. Is it users service? I took out all my sample code. Does it take a name or anything? Why doesn't it load the frickin' types? Oops. And that takes an email and what? A role and a URL. Did this take? Sometimes they take options, sometimes they don't. So this one, it automatically sets the name for me. I might need to set the accountability. Maybe it is harder to make it in the flow. Okay, I'm gonna pause this task. And then I'm gonna task start 3. Did that work? Yes. We're switching to the extension first because I think it's gonna be easier. But we want to make a new endpoint. Let me... Oh, I want to do that in there. Change directory extensions / there. Okay. And then I think I made a command in here. Was it yarn? No, npm run. I made a readme. Run add. Okay, we're gonna add an endpoint. Or I could add an operation. Maybe we'll do that next. The name for the entry, the endpoint is going to be register user, I guess. Give me that TypeScript. Done. What the hell did it do? SRC. There's my endpoint. So what this also does is it modifies the package here, and it tells you where to find it. So that's the name, and then it says this is where it's going to be. But I'm going to move this to endpoints slash, because I like to keep them separated still. Okay, so now it should be pointing correctly. The endpoint's going to show up as, I think, it's just slash registered user. Let's see. Oh, this is local still. We gotta run our, I don't remember what it runs on. npm run start. Oh, that's not the right place anymore anyway. Register user. How did I do this on the other one? Is it register user slash? Oh, that's because I didn't update my. So when I'm running the extensions locally, I do need to go to extension slash that one, and then npm run build launch dev. There we go. Okay, and so now see how it says reloading extensions? What app is that? I always get Insomnia mixed up with the other one, Discord. Okay. I can't remember if there's a... Okay, I loaded everything. Oh, it's a freaking get. There we go. Okay, cat wants back in, I think. Okay. So now we have it rendering some stuff. We have to figure out, how do I get the service access in here? Maybe you need to choose path. Yeah, you saw it. I forgot it defaulted to get All right, I'll be right back. 1 second. Let me get the cat inside. Okay, I'm back. So in Endpoint, we get the router. Typically, yeah, get fixed for 30 minutes. It's always something small when it takes me a long time, you know? Let me look in the... I wonder if I need to upgrade the SDK at all. Node modules, Directus Extensions, SDK. I think I might want to pull in directly from like API, Directus API. Oh, use. I forgot about these. Use API. I think that's what I want. And then what's on API? Axios Intus. Oh, maybe it wasn't use API. Maybe it was. I want the services. Filter fields, use items, use layout, use stores. I took a picture of this once. Please, oops, sorry. Please hold. Stores. Okay, I think they call them stores in here. Here's what I'm looking at. I took this screenshot a bit ago to see what each of these things returned. Unless the store really is referring to data. Use user store. Let me look for another one. I don't want to go to files. I don't think that is it. Is it API? Can I just import this service directly? Or do I have to use like their instance? I think this just gives me like request, direct access to make requests to the API. Well, let's get coding and see what happens, huh? In this case, I'm going to want to get the email from the rec.body. Axios.request. I wonder if they do anything to attach. Let's see. Is it user/invite? Is that what they said? Inviting a user, email and role, and the invite URL. Post to /user/invite. It just takes config. URL. Can I do async in here? Let's save this real quick and let me see if I can do pull in that service directly. Import user service from Directus API / dist. Does that work? Directus API has no exported member. Oh, create app. Maybe I need to read their docs again, their extension docs again. I'm not supposed to be using the SDK in the main admin because then, unless I like make an admin token or something, you know? But they updated this to all point to the new Extensions SDK. Where's the other? Oh, here we go. This is all the shit I need. Register function. A router and a context. I thought there was a context. Well, that's soot. Okay. So now in here, I would have that. That's what happens when you don't read the docs, kids. Think you know what you're doing. Okay, so I can pull the services off of there. And then, where is that other one? Basically this stuff. I wonder now that I'm on the newer version, if exception, I know exceptions has dropped now. But now I should be able to do like services.users service. And what did that take? Oh, I don't know, because TypeScript doesn't give me anything. Use the full available schema for use in services. I know it's going to want accountability, but we'll get to that. And schema is going to be await get schema. I forgot how accountability is formatted. That's why I started writing these docs. Oh, here's the examples. Getting a single user via the item service. Exceptions is dead. Here we go. I want to see what accountability looks like. Oh, I didn't write it down. I don't remember how to fake the accountability. There was a way to do that. Okay. So if we leave it off, I would expect it to fail. But now I should be able to do this, invite user, and that's going to take the email, the role ID, which I'm going to hard code in here, const for now. And the invite URL, I have that in my other front-end thing. This is all in my config. So I can use the environment variables as well. For example, I would like to use it here. I'm going to call it path. There, because in here I can get the, oh, you know what? Does it have, yeah, it does have it all on there. In flows it doesn't, but in here it does. So it should be inf.public URL plus. And this is either going to fail or not. I think it will fail, actually. Because the accountability is not set. Let's try it. I also don't have a role in my local one. Let's see what happens first. Can't be used to invite users. Well, that's true. I didn't catch the error. Okay. The user service is fine. We want to try catch. A 400 error, 500 error. Is there an error.status code? Let me find that role. Also, yes, it's not. This URL. In this case, it's the front end URL. So this would be public front end URL. No, it wouldn't be, well, I don't have that set in there, I don't think. But I will need to set it. Let me do that. I need to set it up on Railway too. Let me do that. I'm going to set it to my localhost for now, because that's where we're working off of. Okay, it's going to redeploy. And just make sure I close down all my variables. Okay. What was it? Was it 8055? Oh yeah, I killed it on accident. npm run start. What password do I have here? Did it automatically take me back to this page? That's interesting. Okay. Did it finish deploying? Not yet. I can't remember what accountability was supposed to look like. I guess we had it in there. I think it's just the permissions thing. That I really need to do, or really need to add in. I don't think I need any of this other stuff. And I think this is just users don't create. We'll see if it makes a difference. Users don't create or user don't create? I think it's users. Just when you think it's gonna go quick and easy, you know? This light's very bright. Done. Okay. This is not the right one. Server returned nothing. No headers, no data. Okay. This is because of my local. Let me update a few more environment variables. In this one, I added a user invite allow list, but I didn't save it to my local environment. Where's that? Okay, restart. And then in here, go. Invalid status code, undefined. Did it catch the error? No. Oh, I forgot to log the error. Stupid. I'm gonna give this like a 500 for now. How about that? Stupid. Oh, I keep going back here, but I'm in the wrong spot. You don't have permission to access this. That's what I wanted. And that is correct, I believe. I mean, what if I just say like that? I might not even need permissions. I might just need to say admin true. This is rebuilding each time, I think. I think it's working. 200 okay. Oh my goodness, I got invited. My local host is not working right now, though. Because I turned it off. But if I turn it back on and I refresh, it should work. There we go, password. You're all set to go. Now you can log in. If I go to users, there's my new user. Wait, I did post, right? Or what did I do? No, test. There I am, mock user, log out. Okay, so that did work. All I did was add the admin true to give it all access. Faked it till we made it. And then it allows them to invite a user with a specific email. What would be the right error for this? Did I console log out that error? I did. Did it give it any? Oh, dot status. There we go. So if I change this back now and I try to, well, that's not right. It didn't probably reload in time. Or is it doing that because the user's already there? Let me see, is it sending me more emails? Let's try a different user. Yeah, there you go. You don't have permission to access this. But if I do test, yeah, it's just saying okay because they already exist. So, I mean, I am kind of giving away that a user exists with that account, whatever. Not horrible. This, okay, so now it's just letting anyone in. I'm not doing anything to, oh, I'm giving him a weird role ID too. Did that, oh no, because I'm hitting, wait. Oh yes, I am still using the right database, so that is the right role ID. So they should show up in here under test user. Okay. That's enough bare bones to invite a user. So I could, this is it for the hard-coded endpoint, for the endpoint in the extension. Now I have to figure out, how do I get access to the services inside a flow? I think I just need, well, see, here it's giving me the services, which is nice. Because I get this whole context. Can I do that in the flow? Just thinking. What I really wanted to do for this was to add like a settings in Directus so that I could dynamically pull and say, okay, are they enabled right now? Is registrations enabled right now or not? If not, then I'll send back an error. Let's see if anyone's mentioned. Yeah, it's usually hard to search things. to last node's data. We can try looking in their thing too. But I'm going to take a potty break. And then when I get back, we'll switch over to the end of, to the endpoint flow instead. Deal? Cool. Hey, Maddie. Wow, I'm surprised you're even here. Yeah, I would imagine it's not a good time. Not a good time for you, but thanks for stopping by, saying hi. I was about to go take a potty break. I'll be right back. I have a command for that. Step away for 2 seconds and you guys are jamming. Oh, that's the wrong cam. Is that the right one? That's weird. That's weird. Anyway, Maddie, thanks for stopping by. Let me task pause. Task start 3. Did that do it right? Yeah. Oops. And then I'll task end that one, because that one is done.
We have to get on, we have to get on. We have so much time and so little to do. Strike that.
Reverse it. I can swap it too. Task, swap. What numbers are they? 2 and 3. There we go. All right, so I thought about this for a second while I was gone. We could create an operation that sends the user invite, which is cool. That would be easy and reusable for if you ever wanted to trigger it from something else, like you had a beta list and then you wanted to convert them to a real user, you could just use the operation to send an invite. That would be nice to have. The other thing could be, I'd have to figure out how to set up services in Flows, and I don't know how to do that. Let me look real quick. Let's see if we can find an answer in the Directus chat. This would be, I don't know, anywhere really. Search services and flows. No results found. Okay, cool. No results anywhere? Well, I've never built an operation. Operation. Dun, 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 dun. Did this change? Services object is inside utils. Directus utils. Oh, utils in your handler? Don't think this is it. Nothing that involves a service and a flow. Let's make a quick post. Oh, this shouldn't go in. This should go in the Studio app. Can I access services in Flows? There we go. We'll let that ride. And then we'll try to look into building an operation. Operation. Oh yeah, I can add one. What do I get in here? Do I get... Yeah, I get the service and stuff. Okay. So is this good enough? I think this is good enough to put up. I'm probably going to want these in the other. Oh, I already have a config. Oops. You hear him out there? Ah, look at that. I should tie it into my thing eventually, but... Okay. So that's a simple thing. There's some edge cases we would need to handle there that we want to handle, basically. But that works. So let me... Oh, did I... Public front-end URL. Yeah, I am replying on, or what's it called on that? Okay, then now in here, we want to npm run add a new extension. And this is going to be operation. Choose a name for the entry. Invite user. I don't know what the name should look like here, to be honest. TypeScript. It's always so bright. I mean, I don't turn the light down. It's gotten pretty dark outside. How's that? Much darker? It just brightens it up anyway. Maybe I should adjust my EV, huh? There you go. That's fine for now. My hand always goes crooked. Just how it sits comfortably, okay? Okay, created one. Where did it? There it is. Again, I'm gonna move it into an operations folder so I know what it is. And because I did that, I need to update this package. Whenever they create package stuff, they always, or create a new extension, they add it in the package. App and API, interesting. What does this look like? Operation API. Oh, this is how it displays in the app. Okay, so the ID is going to be invite user. Name is invite user. Icon, what is it, the material UI icons? Let's see if we can pull it off of here real quick. Account circle. Does that work? We'll see. Invite to user, dupe. The label is email. Text. Oh. So this will be email, I think. And then I think this is going to come from this. Type. Does this have to be text or is that the name? That might be wrong, but we'll see. Okay, I think that should be it for that side. Options. npm run dev again. That'll build the extension. And then I'll restart this thing. And we'll see if the extension loads correctly. Yes, it loaded the bundle. No warnings. Okay. So in here, I should be able to go to flows, user registration. Button's fucked. Do I need to refresh this maybe? There we go, yeah. Invite user, boom. And the email, so in this case, the email would be trigger.email. wonder if I'm messing up I'm in my prod database right now. And this flow doesn't exist in there. I mean, this operation, you know, doesn't exist in that code there. So don't try loading it up. Okay, so let's try it. And this is what happens in here. It should get the email. I'm going to console log the email right now. So let's just try hitting it. No errors. I think it should log it out. Email undefined. Okay. I wrote trigger.email. It should definitely be trigger.payload.email. I'm gonna close this old one out. Yeah, trigger payload email. Let's try it again. Another email undefined. Let me see. Oh, maybe it's trigger.body.email. Darn. Or trigger payload body email. Hold on. Nesting, am I right? Where was I looking at that? Oh, this code. No, I want to edit it in the admin. I wanted to see this response though. This is trigger body email. I don't know why it keeps trying to redirect me away. Okay, let's do it one more time. There it is. Okay, so I have the email. Now, how on earth, what happens in the handler? Give me something. Give me something I can work with. How do I get services? Operation context. Did anybody respond to me yet? No. Let's get their docs some more and see if they have any hints. Where was their docs? Not this one. I want to look at extensions, operations. handler function. Here we go. Context. Options and context. Can't find it in here. So the first one is the options. Second one is the context. And then I basically want to do that same code that I did in the last one, which is here. I want this. I'm not sure if this context has get schema or not. It might. We'll see. And then I have the email, right? Can I make this async? Because I'm gonna. And they don't have like res JSONs in here, so I think instead I just throw I return probably the data that I want to return. Return success true. Otherwise, I'm going to catch the error. Oh, they did mention something about a promise, actually. Value only added to the data chain. Yeah, that's fine. Is there a way for me to like resolve or reject it? To trigger the operation connected to the resolve anchor, the handler function has to return a value. To trigger connected to reject anchor, the handler function has to throw with a value. Okay. So success is to return a value, and then error was to throw. I don't know if there's any specific kind of error that I have to throw, but or if I could just throw the original error, probably. I'll still log it out anyway, just to see. Okay, so it invites. I mean, I think that's it. I don't even really need to store this to results, because if it fails, it fails. Another thing I could do is I can choose to run, well, I have to run this as admin. I think that's it. Did it do the account circle? I can't remember. Ooh, I just saw a lightning flash. Okay, no emails yet, but and I think I want to update this. Yeah, it did have the user icon. So I want to update this to return invite user. I'll just say data of last operation. No. Yeah. So whatever the last operation is, in this case it's this one, it's going to return that data, so it's going to be success. Or there will be an error. And if there is an error, I wonder what happens. We'll see. So one of the benefits of doing it this way is I can enable or disable this flow at any point. And I can modify it easily in the admin. So that's kind of nice. Even though I wrote the operation, I know the code will always work like that, which is good. But I still have the flexibility of managing it in the flow, you know? I think this should work success. Success true. I already have that account though, so it's not really doing anything, you know. I think let's delete it and start it over. Delete. Okay, there is no other, there's no test user in here now. I'm gonna go back here, send it. A little slower this time, success, true. I'm expecting an email. I got an email. You've been invited. And if I refresh this, it should have the user. So it creates the user when you invite them. It just leaves a lot of their information blank, like they don't even have a password. I mean, they can't log in right now because they don't have a password. I assume. Let's try it. Yeah, I can't, well, I can't send anything in with this, but let's hook our front end up to it. How about that? Okay, so we need to hit this, that flows URL. This one. And now I'm gonna go back to the tutorial site. And this was in Directus. I have a send user invite. So previously I was trying to do this on the client, and that only works if it's, you know, admin user. I'll need to update my API error formatting. I want it to match Directus's. So instead of doing this, I can just say user client request. I don't exactly know what the request object looks like. Did they show that in request options? REST command? Is that a function? What the hell does that mean? Is it just a callback that returns the request options? Let's see what happens when I run just this. What is it? What does that return? See, like, why did that one work? Oh, because the account already existed? Yeah, so it's a function with just has a path and post and body. That's not right. What's wrong with the path? Oh yeah, it should be a callback that returns that, right? Do I need to include this? I think so. Okay, I think that should work, but let me go delete this user again. And let me go back, because I expected that not to work. But it did. Okay, so let me comment that's out. So we're going to try in a second. So this worked last time, and I'm thinking it's just because the user was already created, so it didn't matter. But then if the user's not created, it will try to create it, and you'll say you don't have access. You don't have permission. Like, what if I try to do this for plus user, which does exist? It says, oh, we sent you a link, but it doesn't really do that. Does it? No, I got one 3 minutes ago. Okay. Good to know. Now let's try this one. Try to load our flow. Okay, let's go back to our flow real quick. Let's see. It's currently 6 logs. What does that say? 6? 6 logs? 7 minutes ago. Okay. Did I delete that user again? Yes, there is no user. An unknown error occurred. Cores? Ooh, you got me. Okay. That's just my own fault. It's my own damn fault. Let me go privacy real quick. And I'm gonna update my env to allow cores. How do I do that again? How do I do that again? Okay, I'm going to the self-hosted config options, cores. Cores enabled on, and then somewhere there's or a domain or a CSV of domains. Okay, I gotta do cores enabled and cores origin. And this is just for local dev. I wouldn't need to do this on prod because that's coming from the same main domain, and the subdomain, they're just going across subdomains, so I think it should work fine, right? Because it's the same origin. This will be coming from cores origin is going to be localhost 3000. And I need to restart this one because I made some env changes. I think I fixed everything. Oh yeah. Boom. Sent. Success true. And on this side, I didn't log anything else out, but I can go here and refresh my logs and see 1 minute ago. There's the email. There's the payload. That worked. Accountability, admin. Oh, it came in the triggered, not by a non-admin. The payload and all. And then in the users, there he is. Okay, and I got another email. So now if I click on that link, I think I should be able to accept it. Boom, password. He's in. You can now log in with your account. Logged in, mock user, boom, boom. Log out. We did it. Good work, everyone. So, the only downside is we don't fully have editability in the admin in our flow, meaning, I don't know, I think this is pretty dope. Because you can do some other kind of flow, like, I don't know, you can do something else beforehand and then trigger an invite user based on that. Like I said, if you have like a beta list, maybe you have a join wait list, right? And then you can select multiple, or like the users you want, and then create a flow that allows you to invite users from the beta list. You send them an invite, and then you can mark them as invited or whatever. Just from this little operation, this was not built in automatically, you know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the only other way that I would know to do it is if you can access the services directly in there in the run script, but that might not be the right way to do it, I guess. I was thinking that's how you would do it, but sometimes I'll go over the edge with flows, you know? Nobody responded yet. Can I access services and flows? But in order for this to work now, I need to deploy it to my production. Hi, I like your UI. It's very nice. Why, thank you, Freedom DAO. It's DaisyUI, which is this one or that one. That's not really mine. This is DaisyUI, which basically Tailwind components. So I would like to try logs in here because then I can see how many people are actually inviting themselves, you know? Like this UI, but Python. How would you have a UI in Python? It would be running in the back end, right? Or you mean a UI to configure it for Python? No, I don't either way. Either way, I don't understand. Okay, there's a graphics interface for Python. I didn't even know you could have those. I'm curious to see what happens if I try to load this in there right now. I'm not familiar with Deluge. What is that? It's just like, nah, just doesn't look great. Yeah. Okay, let me close that. Oh, I do still have one here. See how it's like messed up there? It's still there, but it's messed up. That's because I don't have the latest code there. Okay, but now I should be able to git push, and then it, does this set up for auto deployments? I think so. Maybe not. Actually, no, it doesn't look like it. I don't have this project link. So one thing I do like about Railway is that it is quite easy to do a new deployment. I've noticed I make a lot of code changes and environment variable changes. I'm trying to figure out how to optimize that, but if you do need to make those, they're pretty easy to make in Railway. Like I can change an environment variable and then it will automatically redeploy it, and the redeploy is pretty quick. I mean, you know. I would like to set this up to share a screenshot of the UI. Yeah, sure. Let's see what it looks like. Let me Railway link this real quick. This is going to go to tutorial site, production, Railway link, oh no, Railway service. This is going to go tutorials API. And then Railway up. This is your first ever GUI. Let's check it out. So this is a desktop app, and you can run Python. It's like built on Python. It's not horrible. You just need to add some spacing in places, you know, fine tune it, but that's cool. Oh, you know what? I need to update the variables in here, I think. Public front-end URL is well, it's still pointing to my local. I noticed your GitHub, it's pretty sick. Appreciate you contributing. I'm really weak at JavaScript, etc. No, thank you. No, thank you. Redeploy scheduled. We should deploy our actual site up there too. Let's do that. Will this deploy just fine, hopefully? Actually, I need to do some updates. I need to make sure in here that I'm not just hitting this. I need to hit the what did I call it? Public URL? Front-end URL? Public URL. I'm not very good at Python myself. I would like to learn, but more from a scripting standpoint than anything else. Seen purple UI set up on GitHub? Do you mean like this thing? This is from Directus, if this is what you're referring to. Okay, refresh, and that should be working. Unexpected error. Ooh, 503. There we go. Okay, now it's working. It's all in prod. Purple boxes. Yeah, it looks nice, huh? This is, yeah, from Directus. They did a nice design on this. Purple's nice. That's kind of their branding color that they have. You see they have this little purple icon up here too. And it still has 7 logs. It would be nice to be able to easily clear out old logs. Okay, so this should go to public URL, and then that's the flow. I'm gonna rename this to user registration flow path. Yeah, the purple is Directus. It's inside their things called Flows. That's one of their modules in there. Directus is kind of like a WordPress platform to reduce it. That's to that, but it's just comparable, I think. I don't mean any disses. I get all excited when I see new fancy things. Well, you sound like a developer. I tell you what. Okay. I think that should be it. Git push. This one I haven't deployed yet, so railway link, tutorial site, production, railway service, tutorial site. Let's see if it works. Railway up. I didn't set anything out of the box, so let's see if it can detect Astro and all that fine. Unsupported engine. Let's see if it builds and runs. Build failed. Does my build work locally? npm run build. No. Could not resolve components header link. I changed it to navlink, and that's why it's not happy. Oh, there's more.
The operation is about to begin. The universe holds its breath.
Oh, I don't need about me page. Success. Okay. Like, is TypeScript more debuggable than JavaScript? TypeScript. Oh, is there a way to make JavaScript more debuggable with a change of design? So yeah, TypeScript will help prevent you from causing a lot of errors. For debugging, you probably want to learn how to use the Chrome dev tools or the dev tools of whichever browser you're using to view things. If you're working in Node, it's a little different. Are you trying to use JavaScript for the front end or the back end? Anything specific, or are you just learning it in general?
They all know much, but understand.
Let's see if this build works. Bad engine. How do I tell it to use Node version 18? I think I might have did that on my other one, other install. Maybe I have to do it here too. Do you hear that? Let me check something real quick. So I have this in my API one, I have the engines. Maybe I don't have that in this one. I think that forces it to application failed to respond. Is there environment variables I need for that? That makes sense. That would make some sense. I think I already set them though. All right, guys, let's chill out, huh? Yes, I did set them. Let me try. Oh, a Zoe appearance? Thinking of moving away from JavaScript into TypeScript for the RLHF. If you already know some JavaScript, you should definitely be diving into TypeScript. It'll be helpful. TypeScript is used in a lot of places now. And it does help you write your code. But coming from Python, there's no types in Python, right? So you're used to that loosey-goosey stuff. I want to do railway up to redeploy it. Let's see if it does anything. And let's see also... There we go, node 18, hopefully. If there's anything fancy I need to do for this deploy your Astro site. I don't have Railway in here, but Astro build, publish directories dist. So do I need to do like a build and serve? Maybe. Or is it because it's forcing it to be on port 3000? It's doing start in Astro Dev. Where am I trying to go? I will find her for you in a minute. She gotta be around here somewhere. What was I looking at? Build command, node, to start new deployments. I think my cam's gonna die in a minute. Here we go. No, I don't want to. Build start. I don't really want to mess with this right now. We'll get to it later. Let me go find Zoe for you. And then we can end the stream.
We have to get on, we have to get on. We have so much time and so little to do. Strike that. Reverse it.
Please hold. Zoe, 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 Zoe! Zoe, Zoe, Zoe! Where are you, Zoe? I don't know. I don't really see her anywhere. Oh no, wait. There she is. Zoe, come here. See your butt? See your tail? Zoe, come here. Here she comes. Come here. This is Zoe. I don't speak cat. I speak purr. Purr for the people song. Uh-oh. All right. We can end it there. Thank you for tuning in. I'll try to fix some more stuff off stream, but we basically got what we wanted to today. And I might come up with more ways to get this done over time. We'll see. But I'll be back with more another time. Freedom Dow, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Mountain Trash Panda, thank you for the redemption. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Okay, bye.